Hello everyone, GR10 Desert Gold. It's been a while since I've done something, and my topic today is seeing if there are ways to trim some of the cost out of these things and do or work with things that will help you save some money and have more funds to invest in what we really want in the first place is the beer. So what I'm starting out with is the fermenter. I live in southern Arizona, and this is not the place you want to be for fermenting beer, if you will. Today's temperature outside is 100 and I think it's about 105. We're heading up to next month. We'll be in the 120s. All of the homes in this area that I'm aware of do not have basements, and I'm sure there are some in the outlying areas, but I don't have a basement. And right now the current ambient temperature in this house is 85 degrees. I'm going to show you how I built a fermenter for under $20. And I'm sorry, the styrofoam container big enough to house a 2-gallon, which is what I'm going to use in it, big enough or large enough for a Mr. Beer 2-gallon fermenter, is about 25 quarts, and it was $15. Okay, so this is one of my latest adventures. I decided to resurrect an old buddy after purchasing my first pinter, and in the theme of microbrewing, I brought back the Mr. Beer. Now the pinter is good for 1.5 gallons or 6 liters, I believe. And the Mr. Beer is good for 2 gallons. So some of these 2-gallon kits that you see on the market become available for use in this. Now, this is not a pressurized system like the pinter is, and you're going to have to ferment it in this container, and then you're going to have to transfer it to either a keg or bottle it and let it carbonate in those vessels. My biggest challenge is that I live in the southern Arizona area, and right now it's beautiful. It's like 70s, 80s, but we're hitting the hundreds in the next couple of days. The next month we'll be in the 115s and 120s and yada, yada, yada. That is a horrible environment to ferment something in. These little yeasty buddies like it in the 50s to at the most 70s, and if you're lagers, or if you're doing the lager, you're in the 50s to 60 range. I can't keep my house at 60 degrees so that the ambient temperature is enough to keep the yeast going, so I built my own fermenter. And yes, it's a Peltier cooler, and I'll get into that a little later, but basically this is the unit itself. I built this in, oh gosh, about 5 years ago for a battery bank emergency backup system that I built. It was a 2.5 kilowatt system, and I thought that this would be useful in keeping the cabinet cooled down if it started to warm up during power issues. Anyway, this is cooling a heatsink, and then the Peltier cooler. Let me bring the camera around here. Okay, your Peltier cooler is got a fan mounted to the Peltier chip itself has got a fan mounted to the top of it, and it's pumping out cool air into the system, into the cabinet. I've got a Wi-Fi sensor mounted that I can monitor from anywhere in the house. And right now, the bottom number, the 68, is the Peltier, and the top one is the current ambient temperature is almost 81 degrees. So it is cooling, and you've got it at 68 degrees right now, and the lid is open and hot air is coming in, so I'm pretty jazzed about that. And then the other wire you see here is, and I'll bring the camera back. I don't know if you can see it. This is the thermostat, technically, and I'll get into a little of the wiring later on, but the red, as you can see, is climbing now because more hot air is coming in, and so we're already at 71 degrees, and the blue number is the cutoff point. So I don't want it to go beyond, you don't want it to go below the recommended range for the yeast you're using. So in this case, I don't want to go below 60 degrees. So when it hits 60 degrees, this shuts the cooler down and waits until the temperature rises 3 degrees, and then it turns back on. So it keeps a very steady and stable environment for fermenting. Okay, a little while ago I explained the workings of this home-built fermenter, and I've currently got it testing with 2 gallons of red Irish ale that I put together last night. And we're gonna check out to make sure that the thermal switch is working. Right now we're at 59.1 degrees. When it hits 59.0, it should shut down. And there you have it. The fan and cooling system is off. The light goes off to indicate that everything is shut down. And now it will allow the temperature, internal temperature of the fermenter to rise, and once it goes above 60 degrees or 61 degrees, it'll automatically, or should automatically, turn on the thermal switch, or the Peltier cooler I should say, and you'll see a little light come on, and that indicates the power is running to the cooler and cooling the fermenter. And we'll just watch this for a little bit and see if it turns on like it's supposed to. And as a point of fact, the current ambient temperature right now is 85 degrees in this room. So getting a cooler this inefficient to maintain such a tight target range is pretty impressive, I think. So we're at 59, what is it, 0.8? We should be seeing the Peltier cooler turn on shortly. Well, it is pretty efficient at this point anyway. It's maintaining that tight target range. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit and let some hot air in and see if the thermal switch kicks in. There you have it. Yes, like I said, it would turn on at 61 degrees. Apparently the thermal switch is set for a 2-degree rise before triggering the cooler. The switch does have the ability to enter what type of delay you want, whether it's 2 degrees, 1 degree, 5 degrees. You can just set it. Right now it's set at 2 degrees, which is exactly where I want it. And it will keep it in that target range. So as you can see, the home built or DIY, if you will, fermenter is working perfectly so far, but I don't foresee any issues that could pop up in that it is working just as I'd expected it to. I hope that it gives people ideas on what they can do for their particular environments and needs as far as fermenting.